We're spending the morning talking fire prevention. We're at Mason Manor in Green Bay, an apartment complex which has 8 floors. And joining us live is Lieutenant Nick Craig with the Green Bay Metro Fire Department. Morning, Nick. How are you? And tell us a little bit about what people need to think about when living in a high-rise, if you would.
Sure. Like you mentioned, it is Fire Prevention Week, and we want people not only to try to prevent fires, but be prepared for them. One of the first things that we hear people say when they experience a fire is, "Oh my goodness, we never thought this would happen to us." But if you're prepared for a fire in case it does happen to you, you're going to come out a lot better. In large apartment buildings, your chances of having or experiencing a fire in your own unit aren't any higher than if you lived in your own home. But your chances of actually experiencing a fire, since you are at the mercy of everyone else in the building, are higher. So a couple of things that you need to take a look at to prepare yourself in the event of a fire. First thing we have is we're standing by the elevators, and a lot of high-rise buildings obviously have elevators. This building has elevators that actually deactivate when the fire alarm is pulled, so that's why you're not allowed to use elevators. Some older buildings that have elevators may not deactivate them when the building's alarm goes off, but it's still important that you don't use them because a lot of them have an optical sensor that prevent the door from closing. If they opened up on a smoky floor, you're trapped right there. So we take a walk over here. Your way to get out, get down to ground level is going to be the stairs. Right here on the wall, we've got an emergency evacuation plan. Knowing 2 ways out, how you would get yourself out of the building, is extremely important. A lot of people come in the same door every day. In the event of a fire, they go, "That's the door I got to go out." But we want people to look for their closest exit, not necessarily the door they use on a daily basis. We have the stairwell here, and for those folks that have a hard time doing stairs or up on the higher floors, we don't expect you to, to try to do all 8 flights. If you can just have a seat on, on the top or second step, it's the first place that firefighters are going to check for people. And then last but not least, we've got the building fire alarm. And this alarm is very similar to most. It's a local alarm only. So when somebody pulls this, only the people in the building are going to hear that alarm. Somebody still needs to call 911. We've had several fires where people pull the alarm, they get outside, and they wait for us for several minutes before somebody finally realizes that they need to call us to get us there.
Very good tips, Lieutenant Nick. Thank you very much for joining us, and we will be joining you again next hour. It's been 20